Okay, coming to the seniors, the major topic in secondary human physiology. In that one, digestive system is the first topic we have to discuss now. So, what is one by digestive system? How it plays a key role in our human body? Every cell of the body needs nutrients. Why? Every cell of the body needs nutrients. Why? In the presence of nutrients, which is essential, nutrients are essential for energy providers, energy providers, which also helps in growth of the body and which also helps in repairing the tissues. So which nutrients are consumed by human beings or other organisms? So major nutrients are in the type of food material. First one is carbohydrates, carbohydrates, and second one is proteins, and third one is fats, also called lipids. These are the main food resources which are essential for a life. Carbohydrates, which are considered as chief energy providers. Proteins, which are essential for body builders and also helps in synthesis or synthesize the enzymes. And coming to the third one, which are reserves of energy. Among these three, other materials which are essential, that are first one is vitamins, minerals, and water. So vitamins and minerals and water, which are essential along with these main components such as carbohydrates, proteins, fats. All these essential for every cell of the body. These materials which are considered as a nutrients. So coming with it. What are the another role in the digestive system or any other systems of the particular water means, which helps in various metabolic activities and also prevents dehydration, prevents from the dehydration of the body. Coming to the next point, what we eat, which are present in the form, which form means complex form, but the complex substances, there is a food which is not directly passes through the cell membrane, which is not directly passes through the cell membrane. We are consuming complex substances, the substances which are not directly passes through the cell membrane. Then only the complex substances are required to modified or converted into the simple substances. Then which simple substances are received through the cell membrane. Otherwise, the complex substances are not allowed by the cell membrane. Cell membrane is also known as plasma membrane. Now, the organism requires a specific system or a specific process to convert the complex molecules into the simple substances. The process is known as digestion. So, what is meant by digestion? Complex substances of food molecules converted into simple absorbable substances or molecules. The process is called digestion. Now, we understood what is meant by digestion. Generally, digestion is divided into mostly two types. One is extracellular digestion and second one is intracellular digestion. We know about that, we already previously studied about that extracellular digestion and intracellular digestion. The digestion occurs outside the cell, that is called extracellular digestion. The digestion takes place within the cell, that is called intracellular digestion. So, give an example for intracellular digestion. Amoeba and some of the single cell organisms are explained as considered as a extracellular digestion animals. Human beings, which is not exactly the intracellular digestion, but the digestion takes place like as a tube. The tube is considered as alimentary canal. So this is the main thing. The organisms belongs to the higher vertebrates put under the higher category of the phylogenetic tree. And coming to the nutrition. So what is meant by nutrition? Nutrition is nothing but providing energy intaken by food substances or the process of the providing of nutrients which gives energy and repair of the growth. Or previously we discussed that one, nutrients of the nutrition or nutrients which helps in the repair of growth and repair of tissues and growth and maintains the various metabolic activities. So this is the nutrition. And coming to the mode of nutrition. Generally, based on the nutritions, animals mostly categorized into One is holozoic nutrition, and second one is saprophytic nutrition, and third one is parasitic nutrition. Parasitic. Holo means total, either plant or animals consumes the food material totally through the mouth. Example, human beings. When we take the food material, we consume the food material, we intake the food material through the mouth, which leads into our alimentary canal, which is a part of the digestive system. Later we will discuss about the alimentary canal. And coming to the saprophytic, some animals releases enzymes and digest the food materials outside and then consumes the liquid form, which consumes the material in the liquid form, food material in liquid form. Here we can observe, in saprophytics, the organisms always consumes which type of form means liquid form, whereas in holozoic, either plants or animals which consumes both solid and or liquid form. Here some of the examples like bacteria, fungi, and some protozoans also. Coming to the parasitic forms, which also consumes the fluid material from the other organism, which is considered as host, which also consumes the fluid material from the other organisms. The other organism is considered as host, which is equivalent to the saprophytes. This also represents the saprophytic nature. But what is the difference between these two, saprophytic and parasitic means? The organism which depends on the other organism always harm to the host. This is the main point difference between the saprophytic and parasitic mode of nutrition. So example of the parasite nutrition is malarial parasite. That is malarial parasite. So these are the three types of three types, depends on the mode of nutrition. One is holozoic, and second one is saprophytic, and third one is parasitic structures. Okay, organisms are categorized into major two types. Means which type of organism depends on the or intake of the food materials. First one is autotrophs. and second one is heterotrophs. Why we have to discuss this type of classification? Because the process of digestion and the structure of alimentary canal or the mode of nature or the nature of the digestive system is different between the many organisms. So first one we know about the one autotrophs, which always depends on the which prepares their food materials. Coming to the heterotrophs, always depends on the other organisms. Again, heterotrophs are categorized into major three types. First one is herbivores, and second one is carnivores, and third one is omnivores. Coming to the herbivores, the organisms which always depends on the plant products only. The organisms always depends on plant material. We know some of the examples like cattle, cow, buffalo, sheep, etc. And coming to the carnivores, flesh eating organisms means the organisms always consumes flesh or meat. That example is lion and tiger, cheetah, and etc. And coming to the omnivores, this type of organisms always depends on both plant and animal material, both plants and animal. This is good. Both or the organisms which consumes both the plant and animal material. Coming to the omnivores example, especially human beings. Again, so why we have to discuss these three types of individuals regarding to the digestive system is, come to the point. Herbivores have long alimentary canal. Why we have to discuss about these three types of organisms means herbivores have long alimentary canal. Why? Because the digestion process and the development of secretions of enzymatic nature is very less in the herbivores. So it takes some period of time. It takes more period, and the absorption is also very less when compared to the carnivores or omnivores in nature. So this is the main reason. And so what is the carnivorous nature? Which has short and very efficient elementary canal, for absorption of nutrients. Then only, this is the major difference between the herbivores and carnivores. Okay, we can observe some of the animals always chewing the materials they are in rest conditions. That is called chewing the food materials. That is the reason between these carnivores and omnivores. Okay, omnivores is very highly developed individuals which takes the both two types of materials. Along these three, another major individuals are detritivores, which always depends on detritus or decaying matter. Which always depends on detritus or decaying matter. Example, we know earthworm. And other type of means generally in heterotrophs there are different types of mode of nutritions. Some are frugivores, which depends or which eats fruits. Example, parrot. And another mode of nutrition is cannibals. The organisms which depends on one's own species, depends on same species or same group of one's own species. Example is snakes. And like that, some other examples are given, some other modes of nutrition also given. But we will discuss later about the nutritions. We will continue the elementary canal. Then observe this. Coming to the human beings, especially digestive system. What are the main resources or food materials taken by the human beings means carbohydrates. Already discussed previously, carbohydrates, and second one is proteins, and next one is lipids or fats. These are the complex molecules. The complex molecules which are converted into carbohydrates, which are converted into glucose, proteins which are converted into amino acids, and lipids which are converted into fatty acids and glycerol. So conversion of this process which are undertaken by or controlled by the various activities, like first thing is enzymes. So enzymes plays a crucial role. These enzymes which are synthesized by our own body, which always presents in inactive forms. Like pepsinogen, trypsinogen, and chymotrypsinogen. Okay, some other enzymes are also present, but we have little one. Pepsinogen, trypsinogen, and chymotrypsinogen. Whenever the metabolic activities activated, then the inactive forms which are modified into the active forms. So here we have to observe why previously the enzymes are present in active forms, Then Y, which are converted into the active forms. Here, the enzymes are the secretions which are not present in the inactive form during the rest conditions or without intake of the food materials. The enzymes which undergoes to the autodigestion. So what is meant by autodigestion? Auto means self. We know about that one, digestion. Autodigestion means which cells are digested by its own fluids, which are considered as enzymes. So prevention of the autodigestion. Why? Which are always in inactive forms means prevention of autodigestion. This is the main reason. Whenever requirement of the enzymes, the inactive forms which are converted into the active forms, which plays in a important role in the digestion of the complex molecules, which are converted into the simple absorbable molecules. Where the enzymes are present, how the enzymes are present in our body, why these are present in the inactive forms, and where the enzymes are secreted or where the enzymes are present or provided. Especially a breast border structures which are present in the plasma membrane of alimentary canal. So the breast border parts which releases the inactive form of enzymes. When the food material is available, the inactive forms which are converted into the active forms, like as pepsinogen converted into the pepsin, by the activity of HCl. So here the pepsinogen is inactive form, whereas the pepsin is active form. Here HCl which plays an important role for this conversion. And again the pepsin which helps in the pepsinogen converted into the pepsin, that is called autocatalysis. So these are the major role of the enzymes. And coming to the next one. Insufficient intake of nutrients. Generally, proteins and carbohydrates which are essential of an individual up to the 4 kilocalories, and lipids which are essential for minimum 9 kilocalories per 100 grams. But what about insufficient intake of the nutrients? Some of the examples we will discuss here. First one is kwashiorkor. Insufficient intake of proteins, which leads to kwashiorkor. In spite of calorie intake is in normal condition. And coming to the another one, that is called marasmus. Intake of insufficient proteins along with caloric or calories which leads to marasmus. Only intake of sufficient proteins which leads to the kwashiorkor. Both proteins and caloric insufficient intake which leads to the marasmus. These are the major types of diseases caused by the nutrients which are insufficiently intaken by the human beings. Okay, coming to the next one. Along with the enzymes, vitamins and minerals, vitamins plays an important role. So, what are the vitamins? Means we know about that one: A, D, E, K, and B, C vitamins. The vitamins, some of the vitamins which are intaken by the food material, but some of the vitamins like as vitamin B and vitamin K always synthesized by the intestinal flora. Means we know about some of the bacteria and fungi which are present in our body, which synthesizes vitamin B and vitamin K, along with increases the immunity of an individual. Also controlled by this intestinal flora. Okay, coming to the next one. High levels of acidic or acidic nature leads to ulcers in the wall of stomach. According to the recent studies, a bacteria which is known as Helicobacter pylori is a bacteria which also causes the peptic ulcers in the stomach. There is the introduction to the digestive system. The digestive system. The system is associated with or consists. Digestive system consists alimentary canal, and associated glands along with associated structures also. Like teeth, tongue, liver, pancreas, gallbladder. These are the external structures which are associated. These are the external structures associated with the alimentary canal, which are not a part of the alimentary canal. And next, coming to the structure and function, and structure, function, diagnosis and treatment of diseases related to digestive system, digestive structures are called gastroenterology. See, gastroenterology means the medical specialties or specialized structures which are involved in the structural function and diagnosis and treatment of diseases related to the digestive system or digestive structures, which are considered as a gastroenterology. So what are the alimentary canal parts? Before that, alimentary means nourishment. So what are the parts included in the alimentary canal? Alimentary canal begins, or alimentary canal is a tube, is a long tube and coiled also, coiled, long tube, coiled, which has two openings, that is one mouth, that is starts from mouth and ends with anus. Alimentary canal is a long tube or coiled structure which has two openings, begins with mouth and ends with alimentary canal or anus. So what are the next? Alimentary canal along with the associated glands. So what are the associated glands? Generally, the enzymes secreted from the glands like as pancreas and wall of the stomach and wall of the intestine, which are all included associated glands. So first, alimentary canal again divided into another three more regions. Alimentary canal which consists of three more regions. It's divided into three regions. Okay, divided into three regions. First one is foregut also known as stomatium, and second one is midgut or mesenteron, and third one is hindgut, proctorium. Coming to the foregut, which includes mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, and proximal part of the duodenum. Proximal part of the duodenum. Structures. Foregut has stomatium, which includes the mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, and proximal part of the duodenum. Coming to the midgut, which begins with distal part of duodenum, small intestine, and transverse colon of two-thirds of the transverse colon of large intestine. And coming to the hindgut, it begins with one-third of transverse colon, remaining one-third of transverse colon, sigmoid colon, rectum, and upper part of the anal canal. Here, small intestine, which includes again jejunum, ileum, along with cecum, and includes the appendix. So these are the three regions, including the alimentary canal. One is foregut, and second one is midgut, and third one is hindgut. Foregut, which extends up to the proximal part of the duodenum. Midgut extends up to the two-third transverse colon of the large intestine, and the remaining part up to the anus or anal canal, which is considered as a hindgut. Here, all these structures, which one plays a major role in the digestion of food materials means small intestine. Among all these structure of the alimentary canal, small intestine plays a major role in the digestion of food materials. Because carbohydrates and fat materials, which are mostly digested in the small intestine, and whereas some of the proteins which are digested in the stomach, then mostly digestion takes place in the small intestine, and Absorption also takes place in the small intestine. And then what is, we know about what are the food materials? Carbohydrates, previously discussed carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins which are essential. Along with some of the rough age materials, some other rough age materials also taken by the organisms. What are rough age materials? These are high rich fiber indigestible materials. Indigestible materials. Okay. We will continue the alimentary canal. Begins with the mouth up to the anus, anal canal or anus in the next video. If you have any doubts related to this video, please contact to my number. This is my WhatsApp number also. If you have any doubts, please ask me through the WhatsApp.